Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement and Wanderlust.
Happy New Year! It's that time of year where people start setting themselves New Year's resolutions. We go that one step further where we do set ourselves annual goals, and we wanted to share some of them with you.
In our last video, that I'll put in the link above, we talked about the process that we go through on an annual basis in terms of setting out some targets and some goals for the following year. And we think that's really much more important now that we're not working and we're in early retirement than when we were actually working.
So over the last week, Rich has had his little green book out and we've been writing and plotting and planning some of the things that we would like to achieve this next year.
Now, thinking about goal setting, only last week I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast, and she just came out with some just really common sense approaches in terms of things that we would want to stop doing in 2024, things that we would want to start doing in 2024, and also some of the things that we would want to continue to do from the things that we'd adopted in 2023. And I think all too often at this time of year, we just want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And actually, we've done some good stuff last year and we want to continue doing that. Now, in terms of thinking about our goals, we try to think of them in 4 key areas. The first being career. Now, obviously, as early retirees, we don't actually have a career at the moment, but we still have aspirations for how we want to lead our life. We then think about our relationships and our health. And finally, thinking about some lifelong learning in terms of personal development. So we want to take you through some of our thoughts, and they are random thoughts on those areas.
Well, we very obviously don't have careers. We're early retirees. But when we set up our YouTube and our weekly blog, we called ourselves Early Retirement Wanderlust. And that was particularly because one of the things we wanted to do in our first few years of early retirement is travel. We've just got this thirst to find out about the world that's around us. And we never had that chance when we were younger. We didn't do any of the gap years that lots of people did. We went straight to work. So that in mind, a big thing for us is to continue all the travel that we do. I've set a lofty target that I would like to visit a new continent this year. We have obviously toured Europe extensively. We have toured America quite a lot this year. I don't know what new continent I would like to explore, but I'm sure by the end of the year we will have found one. We also would like to explore a little bit more of Europe and try and find 3 new countries, do you think, that we've not done yet? Quite an easy one is that on our way down to Slovenia this year, Richard would like to go to, is it Liechtenstein?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, and we've not been to Luxembourg, and we haven't been to Hungary, which is quite close to Slovenia. So there's quite a few in there that we just need to extend our comfort zones a little bit.
Yeah, I think a new continent is definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone, but hey, we'll see how we get on with that. When we early retired, we made a conscious decision that we were going to put ourselves at the very edge of our comfort zone and launch our YouTube channel. And it's been quite a year. It's something that we've learned a lot about, and we've learned lots of new skills, namely just being able to speak in front of a camera, which is the most awkward thing ever that you can imagine. And we've made, I think, a little bit of progress on that this year. We're feeling a little bit more comfortable on that. But we want to continue our YouTube work. So we are really enjoying, and I really enjoy putting out 2 videos a week. It gives me absolute purpose. It gives me something to get up for in the morning. It gives me lots of work to do throughout the week, and I'm really enjoying that. But one of the things that we want to start doing is just opening up a little bit more as we get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, because it's not easy to be impromptu and just to talk to camera how we think we would like to talk to camera.
Yeah, the big hurdle that we still have, both of us, is talking in public. And I don't think I ever would want to do that. I think I'd just look awkward. So
yeah, but one of the things we want to do is to just, when we're out and about, offer maybe a little bit more commentary about what we do when we are there and about, but we'll obviously be looking for really quiet places to do that.
We're definitely getting better though.
We are.
And one of the things that we want to continue with YouTube is just to do things the way that we are doing it at the moment. We just want to continue just being honest and not pushy, not...
Yeah, we're just not your typical YouTubers. We're just two normal people that are living in the Dales in Yorkshire that just happen to have early retired and want to share that journey with you.
And there are a lot of people out there that do genuinely want to know about early retirement and how do you fill your time and what do you do. So yeah, I think we found a little nice group of people that like watching what we do, and we just want to continue doing that for you. The first 6 months of last year was spent with us renovating our cottage that we live in the Yorkshire Dales, and it is absolutely beautiful inside. We love being here. We love coming back to it. We love the fact that it feels like we're coming home to a holiday cottage whenever we return from our travels. One thing that we didn't get round to was doing the outside of the cottage, doing the gardens, and that we know that a lot of the eaves and paintwork need redoing. And it's quite an exciting project now that we're refueled to actually start thinking about planning and getting the gardens done so that when we do have a really sunny summer this year, which we didn't have last year, we'll have somewhere nice to sit out.
So all of that is a big project, but not as big as last year's project of doing the house. No. So it's not too intimidating.
And we're going to do it ourselves, whereas a lot of the stuff in the house we had to get people in to do. We are going to do all of the gardens ourselves. And it's actually on quite a slope, so we do need to build in some sort of stepping system. There's your little research project, Rich.
One of the things that I wanted to get out of my early retirement was to further develop my freelance writing skills. So for a number of years I have been writing for VW-based campervan magazines, and we've been doing all sorts of travel writing and things like that. This last year we managed to branch out, and we actually had a picture published in Wanderlust magazine, which was just, in terms of photography, was just one of my all-time goals ever. But we also got the opportunity to write for Motorhome magazine and Campervan magazine. So I think some of the things that I want to do next year is to try and extend that a little bit more and just write for a wider range of publications. And I'm quite excited about that.
I think your dream would be to write a travel article for Wanderlust magazine.
I mean, Wanderlust, if you've not seen that magazine, it's amazing. It's a complete coffee table magazine, but the images and the words in it are just beautiful.
And on the writing front, I would like to further develop our blog that we do write pretty much weekly. It's me that's in charge of the blog. I took it over when Richard started doing all the YouTube editing. And I really like the reflection side of it, thinking about what we've done, what we've achieved over the previous week. Maybe it's my way of setting goals. I write it through the blog and seeing what we've achieved. I would like to develop that over the next year so that we actually put more, rather than just a personal weekly blog, actually start being more informative, because we do a lot of stuff on YouTube about early retirement, about goal setting like this, to actually formalise it in writing as well, so it's in words as well as visual.
One of the main reasons why we chose to early retire was that we wanted more time for each other in terms of our relationship. We'd spent 30 years working really hard as teachers, and quite often we felt like ships that passed in the night.
We definitely were. When our family lived at home, our daughter was a pole vaulter. I used to have to take her to Manchester 4 times a week, so that was our evenings gone. Luke was playing rugby, and the fact that I was a primary school teacher just seemingly marking forever and working and planning, we just didn't see each other, did we?
We didn't. And in 2021 we had just the most horrific year in terms of, I lost my dad, and then shortly after I lost my brother, and it made us realise that life's really short, and what we wanted to do was to just make a conscious decision to spend our time building memories, making sure that we had time for each other and just really enjoying our life.
Something that we really enjoyed from last year that we haven't particularly had the chance to do for many years is spend so much time with our family, whether it just be visiting them, but actually we've been on quite a few trips with them as well, going to America with my mum, going skiing with the children last year, and it's something that we really want to build on this year.
So again, we are heading off with the kids to ski with their partners, and that's just a lovely quality time in the mountains that we have together.
We've planned a big family holiday with all our extended family, my mum, my sister and all our respective children, to go to Florida in the autumn sometime, which I'm really looking forward to.
And then on a smaller scale, the kids are sort of getting into camping, so we're hoping that we can bump into each other at weekends, but in places different to here, out on the campsites and just enjoying the great outdoors. Last year was a little bit tricky with my mum because obviously she'd gone through the trauma of losing her husband and losing her son, and mum was alone. And one of the reasons why we moved back to the Dales was to be much closer to mum, and I really enjoyed last year having much more time with mum. But mum is now in a nursing home, and one of the benefits of being early retired now is that I'm not limited to work hours, so I can go and see mum whenever I wish. And again, it's just about building those memories and those just happy times together, where I don't think if I'd have been working I'd have had the opportunity to do that. So that's something I want to continue to do. But on a more practical level, because mum's in a home, we've got to make arrangements for her house, and that's not easy. We have got all sorts of issues with that in terms of maintenance and work that needs to be done. So I think that's going to be quite a hefty load over the course of the next year, but it's something that has to be done, and it's something that I'll quite happily do for my mum. So that's just something that's got to go on the goals for the year to sort mum's arrangements out.
Something that we had as one of our goals last year was to meet a lot of new people and become more part of the new community that we've moved into in the Yorkshire Dales. We have met some really lovely people. We've got to know quite a few people in our immediate village, and our neighbours are really lovely. But what we realised quite quickly is, with our love for travel and us wanting to travel so much, is that we just haven't got the time to do that at the moment.
Yeah, so we've reevaluated that goal because we were nowhere near it last year. So we want to be a little bit more realistic, and we are thinking, and something that we've been doing this year is whenever we've been back from our travels, we've just tried to immerse ourselves into our immediate community of the village, and also to really get to know the people that live around us. So our elderly neighbours, we've had the opportunity to meet up with them on a number of occasions, and it's just really nice building those relationships within our immediate community.
And I do feel like we've got quite a nice bond. Ken, that lives next door to us, has really adopted us both. Neither of us have got fathers, and it's like he's taken over that role. So we have started to build those links.
And it's just really nice.
It is.
In terms of our health goals for 2024, something that I am going to stop being obsessed about is my Garmin biometrics. And I think it's probably been intimated over the course of the channel that the body battery measurement on Garmin absolutely does my head in. So I've switched it off. And
I'm glad he switched it off, so stopped him moaning.
And I am now just going to be focusing on my stress levels and the amount of sleep that I get, because the body battery measurement was doing me no good. I was just obsessing over it. And actually, the thing that's going to help me recover the most is going to be keeping my stress levels low and also making sure that I get quality sleep on a night. So that's the thing that I'm going to be measuring next year.
My health goal, I think probably my biggest health goal, is that we've moved to the Yorkshire Dales. I've got no excuse of the fact that we're renovating the house anymore. And we both used to love cycling and getting out in the flat Cheshire roads. I think I've been a bit put off because we live in the Dales now. But in the second and third quarters, I have made it my target that we will get out once or twice a week at least, even if it's just for half an hour to cycle, and then building up to maybe slightly longer cycles.
I'm going to continue doing some of my weekly morning runs because I'm getting more than the physical out of that. I really enjoy my time just going on a short morning run. It really clears my head. It's really good for my headspace, and that's something that I'm going to continue doing next year.
Something I'm going to continue doing next year, and I drag Richard along for the joy of it, is doing the Everest Challenge. This year I'd set a target that I wanted to climb the equivalent of Mount Everest 4 times, and I'm going to keep that for next year. I haven't done it by I think we worked out 1,300 metres, and I could have gone out in all of the whole horrible cold weather, but I decided not something that you just need to have to do and get all of those extra metres in right in the last few days of December. But next year we should have more of a go at it, because we haven't got all of the house renovations for the first 4 months where we're quite stuck to being around the house, and just making sure that we keep on track every quarter that I've done roughly one Everest.
One of the things that we found difficult this year with travelling is our routines when we're travelling, and particularly our health and fitness routines. We're pretty good with our nutrition when we're on the road, and ironically, we actually live to a budget when we're on the road. But our exercise routines, apart from getting out in the mountains and doing the hiking and perhaps doing some biking when we're out there, the routine tends to slip, and I know that I need to find a better way to be able to do my mobility work and my strength work when I'm on the road. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that, but it's something that I need to embed over the course of next year.
And something that lots of people have said in comments on YouTube is that yoga would maybe be a good solution, and I actually think I would like to have a go at that. So in January, because I'm hoping it's quite easy to embed when we're on the road, not needing a huge amount of space. And there is a community room, so when we're skiing, there will be space for us to do that. I think I would like to start trying to have a go at doing regular yoga, which I've never done before.
In terms of personal development, I'm really excited about the prospect of doing a multi-day hike next year. Jackie was ever so kind to me this Christmas and got me the Dales Way book, and that is a 6 or 7 day trek that I am looking forward to doing sometime when the nicer weather arrives in the summer. It's not something I've ever done before, and I just think that sort of long distance trekking over land that I know around this area is just going to be really exciting, and I'm dead looking forward to it.
And I'm reserving judgment. I might go on, Richard says he's going to start by doing a couple of just one night, 2 day treks just to see what it's like, and I might join him in on a couple of those and see how that goes. I'm not sure.
It's life under canvas, isn't it? That's the issue.
I don't mind camping. It's the carrying everything I need with me for camping that I do mind.
Jackie's been really modest. I think she was scarred as a youngster because she actually got her gold Duke of Edinburgh award, and I think the weight of that rucksack has stayed with you forever since, hasn't it?
Well, I think the rucksack was heavier than I was at the time. We both want to continue reading for pleasure. It was something that we both set ourselves as a target last year because we both found that we weren't reading anything at all. You were reading quite a few self-help type books, which you've always read,
yeah.
But you wanted to expand your reading. I just wasn't reading. We've been much better at that this year. We have a great little reading exchange box in the village, and it's really well stocked. So it's really easy to go and get new books whenever you're bored or you think that you want a change of what to read.
Now, strangely, my next goal for the year is mainly down to YouTube, and I don't know how I've stumbled into this. Somewhere on my YouTube feed appeared a pen sketching video, and I watched it, and then obviously my feed on YouTube kept just bringing me more and more sketching videos, and I've never done art, I've never been interested in art, but I feel myself being strangely sucked into this. So next year I'm going to have a little go at developing my sketching skills. And then finally, another personal development target obviously has to be for us our YouTube work. So there's always something to learn about new camera techniques and camera work, editing skills, and as we've said earlier, part of it is just about being more comfortable on camera. So we'll try on that, but it's just an ongoing journey and we're enjoying that journey.
So there's lots and lots of challenges, targets, things to think about for next year.
And I think by using the 4 areas of career, relationships, health and personal development, it just gives you a broad spread of things to aim for in the year. And it's going to be busy, but it's going to be an exciting year. So
definitely. And it feels like we've not just made frivolous New Year's resolutions that we'll never follow up on like I used to do. I think they are things that we will keep up with.
And more importantly, they're written down in the book.
Even mine are.
And they're committed to camera. So that's another way of us keeping ourselves to account. So that's it from us. We hope you have enjoyed some of our random ramblings and insights. and wish you a really good year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
See you later.
Bye.